All right, everyone. I'm seeing some commentators right now sort of giving up on the Epstein thing, saying, yawn, let's go back to bed. Uh, There's no reason to continue talking about this. It's hopeless. I would like to believe that the decision to lie to the American public, and it is a lie, with regards to the Epstein client list, his obvious blackmail scheme or bribery scheme, I think it probably cut both ways, and his supposed suicide, which didn't happen, he was killed. I would like to believe that Trump was not in on the decision to release this particular report. To redeem himself on this particular issue, which is of great import, Donald Trump should immediately declassify literally everything related to the case. Fire Kash Patel, fire Dan Bongino, or Bonhino, however you pronounce it, Bonfucco, and Pam Bondi. He should fire all three of them and replace them with people that will carry out his will more. You're giving, if you're Trump, at this point leverage to liberal commentators who are gleefully announcing, well, Donald Trump has quashed this report because he's on the client list. I do not believe that. I do not believe that Donald Trump went to Epstein Island. The flight logs do not show any evidence of this. There's no further evidence. And the fact that he kicked him out of Trump Towers all over the world and wouldn't let him access his properties around the time that he initially was being investigated and apparently perved on an underage staffer at one of Trump's resorts shows me it is unlikely that Donald Trump was doing anything like that. He seems to have liked just like the model class, like the college girl sort of thing. And he was a party boy in the 80s and 90s. And we all know this. I mean, we know that Donald Trump likes to fuck around. He's probably still doing it now. And Melania is a little bit, I don't want to compare her to the great Satan, which is Hillary Clinton, but in that sense, she's standing behind her man, sort of on the side, rolling her eyes, saying that Donald will be Donald, basically. But I don't think he has a thing for kids. Biden seemed to have had a thing for kids, considering Ashley's diary, which, has conspicuously disappeared from the news cycle. If it was up there in the first place on any news site, all of a sudden it disappeared very quickly, despite the fact that a reasonable journalist would say, hey, this could potentially be newsworthy. With Trump, I don't believe that he did anything wrong. I mean, he cheated around. We all know this again, but I don't think he did anything with kids. I think he's more into like the 20 to 25 crowd or something like that. With Trump firing Patel, Bongino, and Bondi, he would be sending a message, don't fuck with me, effectively. Now, I can understand why the client list is not made public. I've made this clear on a number of occasions. There are two reasons why. Number one, it is a list of the rich and powerful from all over the world, actually, and would cripple the economy, actually, if it were revealed that so many people with collectively so many investments and factories and businesses and so forth were implicated in such a scandal. So that's reason number one. Reason number two, I would like to believe that there are ongoing investigations into these people to try to corroborate and give evidence for why they should be prosecuted. You would have to do it over time, of course, because of the, again, economic ramifications. Hey, the coach of this all-star baseball team and this military general and that foreign dignitary and this, high-class celebrity and these singers over here, this band, and they were all at Epstein Island, and there's blackmail on all of them. The blackmail exists. There's no way that a person with Jeffrey Epstein's particular personality could have gotten the money that he got simply by having people cross-invest in his business empire, so to speak, or whatever the fuck. It's almost unclassifiable what he was actually doing to get all of that money. It seems more like he would bring people on for lavish parties. He probably bribed a few people to begin with and said, look, I can get you this really hot girl. She's totally DTF. Oh, wait, you fucked her? Too bad she's 14 and just looks mature for her age. But if you invest 10 million in my company, it won't be a problem. And he did this over time, bribing people and then blackmailing them. And so in some cases, he probably dispensed money to some of these people. Hey, you'll be the life of the party. You'll bring other celebs aboard, and so bring your friends. Yeah, and here's $1 million, and I'm giving you a free party. Oh, I just implicated all of them in kitty, stuff. So this appears to be what Epstein did. And the idea that he killed himself, again, there are too many goddamn coincidences that had to line up, and people need to talk about this more. So when I see commentators saying, well, this has gotten boring, it's not advancing our agenda any, do you hear what you're saying? You're saying effectively you're admitting to the mainline story is that Ghislaine Maxwell trafficked a bunch of underage people to nobody at all. Do you really think that there's not some sort of way to corroborate who went to the island at the very least and then conduct a thorough investigation into them to see if the people that they were screwing at the island happened to be of an underage status or were being effectively trafficked? Maybe they were drugged and stuff like that. You'd have lesser crimes too. Somebody gets drugged and raped. Actually a lesser crime than doing it with a 14-year-old, I'm assuming. um, or maybe not. The legal system can be a little bit screwy. I've seen it firsthand. But in this case, you don't even have any attempt at justice, it seems. The FBI and the DOJ are effectively saying, nothing happened here. There's nothing to see here, folks. Totally unacceptable. This is a major scandal. This isn't something minor. People, oftentimes, because it was a long time ago that Epstein killed himself, which never happened. He got murdered. It was a long time ago, and so people sort of they forget or they look at the gargantuan potential scale of the scandal, and their eyes glaze over because of the fact that it's so large, and so they don't really push for any closure on it because they just can't fathom it. It's sort of like the idea of telling a lie big enough so that everyone believes it or something like that, like a tall tale. This is gaslighting. It is wrong. It is ethically wrong. It is legally wrong. It is fundamentally, objectively, provably wrong. We know that all of this is a lie. It's quite evident that it's all a lie. And I would encourage Trump to fire these people and get people in there that can make better lower level hiring decisions. Guard the documents with your life, quite literally, and then make sure that eventually, over time, you prosecute these people. Some of the people that went to Epstein Island, we know had sex with underage girls. We know that Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell trafficked people. In some cases, they were doing things against their will. Look at Prince Andrew, for example. Apparently, the client list is just Prince Andrew. Wow, what a revelation that is. Nobody knew that he was a pervert years ago. Uh, Come on, dude. There were probably fucking 12-year-olds running around the island. People probably brought their kids. Jeffrey Epstein had a good time showing them around his bedroom, I'm sure. This seems to have been a repeat pattern. The problem is that I can understand pragmatically why you would cover up, for public reasons, maybe elements of the case in order to have an ongoing investigation, but they're using the excuse of, well, we're not going to release this because it wouldn't profit the victims any, and we don't want them publicly implicated. They're victims. Nobody's going to blame them for being trafficked by Jeffrey Epstein. What are you talking about? None of this makes any goddamn sense whatsoever. Trump needs to fire these people and get people in there that will actually do their job, because this is not the job that the FBI and DOJ are supposed to be doing pertinent to this case. That's about all. Peace out.